Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahi wa bihamdihi nasta'inuhu wa natawakkalu alayhi. My dear friend, let's talk like two human beings who understand what it means to feel alone in a world that moves too fast, judges too quickly, and forgets too easily. This is not a lecture. This is a conversation of hearts, a moment to breathe, a moment to see yourself again without the noise of the world. And I want to start with something simple but heavy. You are not less because you do not have a boyfriend. You are not behind. You are not incomplete. And you are not forgotten. Sometimes this world makes you feel like everything good comes with a relationship status, as if your worth is measured by someone choosing you. As if your value depends on someone texting you good morning. And when you don't have that, you start wondering, what's wrong with me? Why not me? Why am I alone? But my friend, let me tell you something softly. And I want you to let it land gently on your heart. Allah has never needed a middleman to love you. You don't need someone standing next to you for Allah to see you. You don't need someone holding your hand for Allah to protect you. And you don't need a boyfriend to be worthy of love, respect, warmth, or companionship. Sometimes the most loved people on earth look alone in the eyes of the world, but they are not alone in the eyes of the one who created them. I know the pressure is real. Society has trained us to believe that loneliness only has one cure: romance. That if you're not dating, married, or constantly attached to someone, then you must be unhappy. But that's not truth. That's marketing. That's culture. That's people projecting their fears onto you. Allah does not measure you by your relationship status. He measures you by your sincerity, your patience, your kindness, your intentions, your heart. There are women in this world who have a man by their side but still cry themselves to sleep. There are men who have partners but feel unseen, unheard, unknown. The world shows you only the surface. Filters, smiles, matching outfits, vacation photos. It doesn't show you the tears behind closed doors, the fights at midnight, the emptiness that sometimes lives inside relationships that look perfect on the outside. So don't compare your quiet journey to someone else's highlight reel. There's something else I want you to understand. Sometimes being without a boyfriend is not a punishment, it's protection. Allah removes what will break you before you even know it could hurt you. Sometimes Allah holds you alone for a while because the person written for you is still being shaped, still being prepared, still being softened in ways you cannot see. Or maybe you are being prepared. Maybe Allah is protecting your heart from unnecessary wounds, unnecessary waiting, unnecessary illusions. Maybe He's saving you from experiencing love in a place it was never meant to grow. There is a kind of loneliness that is painful, yes. But there is also a loneliness that is holy. A loneliness that brings you closer to Allah. A loneliness that makes you discover your own voice, your own worth, your own strength. A loneliness that teaches you to love yourself in a way no relationship could. And sometimes when you finally meet the right person, you will look back and say, now I understand why Allah kept me alone. He wasn't leaving me, He was leading me. My friend, being alone does not make you unlovable. It makes you available for the right person, at the right time, with the right heart, under the right circumstances. It makes you whole before someone else arrives. It makes you strong enough not to settle, strong enough to say no to what does not honor you, strong enough to walk away from attention that costs your peace, strong enough to protect your heart, because your heart is valuable. You don't hand a diamond to every person who smiles at you. You protect it, you guard it, you save it for the one who knows how to carry it with fear of Allah. And if you ever feel lonely, truly lonely, remember this: Allah is Al-Wadud, the most loving, the one who loves with a love greater than any human being can give you. The one whose love does not depend on looks, status, popularity, or whether someone chooses you. His love is constant even when your life is changing. His love is steady even when your heart is shaking. His love is with you even when everyone else leaves. Sometimes He takes away human love so you can finally experience divine love. And that love, wallahi, is the kind that heals you from the inside out. So don't rush your story, don't panic, don't think you are falling behind. You are not on their timeline, you are on Allah's timeline, and Allah is never late. Your worth is older than any man who enters your life. Your dignity is not negotiable. Your value was written the day you were created, not the day someone chooses you. And if Allah wants someone for you, that person will come in a way that feels peaceful, not exhausting, clear, not confusing, halal, not hidden, real, not temporary. For now, breathe. You are not alone. You are being held. You are being guided. You are being shaped into someone who can love deeply without losing themselves. Someone who can give without breaking. Someone who can walk into a relationship as a whole person, not a half looking for a half. Your story isn't empty. It's unfolding. And what Allah writes is always complete. Now let's talk about something important. The way society defines love and how that definition affects our self-worth, especially when we don't fit into the mold they expect. Let's take the next step together, slowly, gently, as we continue this journey of the heart into the next part of this speech. You see, my friend, society has created this picture of love that is shiny on the surface but empty underneath. It's like they painted a door that looks beautiful, but when you open it, it leads to a room with no floor. You fall straight through. And many people are falling because they were told that love must look a certain way, must happen by a certain age, must follow a certain pattern. And if it doesn't, then something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. What's wrong is the picture. What's wrong is the pressure. What's wrong is the belief that your life must match the world's timeline or you're somehow failing. You're not failing. You are growing at the pace Allah designed for you, not the pace people push onto you. And maybe you don't have a boyfriend because you refuse to play games. Maybe you don't want attention that doesn't come with responsibility. Maybe you don't want someone touching your heart when they have no intention of staying. Maybe you respect yourself too much to let someone use your emotions as entertainment. You're not behind, you're just honest, and honesty is rare. Sometimes the world says, just date, just try, just experience. But what they don't tell you is that hearts don't work like toys. Hearts don't reset like video games. Hearts aren't objects you return if they break. A single heartbreak can change the way you breathe. It can change the way you see yourself. It can change the way you trust. And Allah knows this. That's why He protects some people through solitude. It's not punishment, it's mercy. You are not weak for wanting something real. You are not strange for wanting something pure. And you are not boring for wanting something halal. You are safe and you are wise. And sometimes wisdom looks like being alone for a while so you don't end up in places that damage your soul. But there's something deeper here. Something that's hard to admit, even to yourself. It's that quiet fear that whispers at night. What if no one ever chooses me? What if I stay alone forever? What if I'm not enough? I want you to breathe for a moment. Those fears are human, but they are not truth. They come from wounds, not from Allah. They come from past experiences, from the way society speaks, from the way you might compare yourself to others. But fear is not fact. Fear is just a shadow. It looks big, it feels heavy, but it disappears the moment real light enters. And Allah is the light. So let the light in. Let it sit inside you for a moment. Let it remind you that the one who created pairs for everything in the world, from the sky and the earth to the night and the day, knows exactly when to write your pairing. He is not confused. He is not late. He is not unsure. When the time is right, it will come with clarity, not chaos. It will come with calm, not competition. It will come with dignity, not desperation. But while you wait, I want to tell you something many people don't say loudly enough. You deserve someone who sees you, not just your beauty or your humor or your smile. You deserve someone who sees your heart, someone who sees the softness in you, someone who sees your kindness, someone who sees how much you try, someone who sees the tears you hide, someone who sees your sincerity, someone who sees your loyalty, someone who sees the battles you fought quietly, someone who sees you not as someone to pass time with, but as someone to honor, to protect, to respect, to journey with, to pray with. But to meet someone like that, you must first understand your own worth. You must know what you carry inside you. You must see that you are more than the world tells you. You must stop believing that silence from others means silence from Allah. His plans are working even when you feel still. And sometimes loneliness is not a lack, it's a message. A message that says, not this, not yet. You deserve better. And you do. You deserve a love that doesn't pull you away from Allah but brings you back to Him. A love that doesn't make you feel small but makes you feel safe. A love that doesn't demand you to lose yourself but reminds you who you are. And maybe right now, Allah is strengthening your heart for that love. Maybe He's teaching you boundaries, patience, self-respect, emotional intelligence, faith, and resilience. Maybe right now you're learning that your happiness cannot depend on a human being. Because if it does, then it becomes fragile. But when your happiness is rooted in Allah first, then any love He gives you after that becomes a blessing, not a replacement. You're not being delayed. You're being developed. And every season has its purpose. The season of quiet, the season of waiting, the season of healing, the season of learning yourself, the season of praying for things you can't yet see. These seasons matter just as much as the season of meeting someone. So don't curse your season. Don't rush it. Don't see it as empty. It's building you in ways that will matter later. It's giving you a heart that loves deeper, with more wisdom, with more compassion, with more clarity. And there's one more thing. Please don't think that all men are the same, or that all love is doomed, or that your heart will never experience something healthy. These thoughts come from hurt, not from truth. There are still hearts out there who fear Allah, hearts that are gentle, hearts that are loyal, hearts that know how to treat someone with dignity, hearts that understand love is not possession, it's responsibility. Your person exists, your story exists, your chapter exists, and when Allah writes it, it will fit so perfectly that you will forget you ever doubted. You will look at your past and finally understand the wisdom behind every not yet, every closed door, every unanswered message, every silence that once made you cry. But for now, my dear friend, let's go deeper into something we need to talk about. The kind of love we should be seeking and how we protect our hearts while we wait for what Allah has written. When we talk about love, we usually talk about the sweetness of it. The butterflies, the good mornings, the feeling of being seen. But we rarely talk about the responsibility of it, the weight of it, the way it shapes your life, your choices, your faith, your heart. And that's why I want you to pause for a moment and think about the kind of love you're actually seeking. Not the one movies show you, not the one TikTok trends celebrate, not the one people romanticize because it looks pretty on camera. I mean real love, the kind that lasts when beauty fades, the kind that holds you when you're tired, the kind that doesn't leave when life becomes heavy, the kind that brings you closer to Allah, not further from Him, because anything that pulls your heart away from the one who created it cannot be love. It might feel like love, it might look like love, it might sound like love, but if it damages your relationship with Allah, it's not love, it's a test. And sometimes Allah keeps you single because you don't yet know the difference. Let me tell you a small story. I once spoke to a sister whose heart was shattered. She said, I thought he was the one. He said all the right things. He knew what I liked. He promised he'd stay. But after months of laughing with her, taking pieces of her heart, sharing parts of her that were too soft to be shared carelessly, he walked away. No explanation, no closure, just silence. And she cried not just because he left, but because she realized she had given someone a part of her that didn't belong there. She trusted someone who had no intention of honoring her. My dear friend, listen closely. Not everyone who enters your life plans to stay. Not everyone deserves access to your heart. Not everyone who pays attention is offering love. Some people come to pass time, not to build a life. Allah sees what you don't see. Allah hears what you don't hear. Allah knows what you don't know. So when He blocks someone from your life, when He delays the person you're hoping for, when He closes a door before you even reach it, it's not because He is keeping happiness away from you. It's because He's keeping harm away from you. This world teaches you to chase attention. Islam teaches you to protect your heart. And your heart, your soft, sincere, giving heart, is not cheap. It's not something you hand to every person who smiles. It is an amana, a trust, a piece of you that Allah asks you to guard. This is why we need to redefine love, not the shallow love that feels good today and ruins you tomorrow, but the kind of love that feels like a home for your soul, the kind that makes you want to pray more, the kind that protects your dignity, the kind that reminds you of your purpose when you forget. And sometimes to prepare you for that love, Allah has to remove the distractions, the false starts, the wrong people, the weak connections, the emotional noise, so you can finally hear Him again. Because love without Allah becomes pain. Love with Allah becomes peace. You deserve peace. But peace requires boundaries. If you let everyone in, you will lose pieces of yourself. If you say yes to every feeling, you will break your heart with your own hands. If you lower your standards just to avoid loneliness, you will become lonely inside relationships that were never meant for you. You need to be brave enough to wait, brave enough to walk away, brave enough to say, my heart is not a playground. If you want it, bring intention, bring respect, bring fear of Allah. And that bravery starts with knowing your worth, the worth Allah gave you, not the worth people assigned to you. Some of you listening right now are tired of waiting, tired of being patient, tired of seeing others get married while you sit alone at events, tired of pretending you don't care, tired of scrolling past engagement posts, tired of wondering when your moment will come. I want to tell you something with love, but also with urgency. Don't let the delay make you desperate. Desperation blinds you. It makes you accept behavior that your heart knows is wrong. It makes you stay in situations that drain your soul. It makes you settle for someone who is not aligned with your future, someone who is not aligned with your deen, someone who is not aligned with your peace. Your soulmate is not just a person who makes you smile. Your soulmate is someone who brings you closer to Jannah. So every day you stay patient, you are moving closer to that person. Every time you reject something harmful, you're protecting space for something better. Every tear you shed in sujood, every whispered dua, every moment you trust Allah despite the silence, these are not empty moments. They are building your story, shaping your character, preparing your heart. You think you're waiting, but Allah is working. And sometimes the loneliness you feel is actually a calling back to your Lord, a calling to talk to Him more, to confide in Him more, to heal with Him more, to connect with Him more deeply than any human connection could ever reach. Because the truth is, if you run to Allah before your future partner appears, you will be able to love them without losing yourself. If you build your identity on Allah first, you won't let anyone else define your worth. If you make Allah the center of your heart, any love He gives you afterward will only add to you, not take from you. And I want you to think about something else. Sometimes when you ask Allah for love, He gives you patience first. When you ask Him for companionship, He gives you solitude first. When you ask Him for a partner, He gives you self-discovery first. Not because He is ignoring your dua, but because He is preparing you to receive it. Imagine giving a delicate flower to someone who has no idea how to hold it. They will break it without meaning to. In the same way, Allah doesn't give you a heart to someone who is not ready to honor it. And He doesn't give you someone's heart if you are not ready to carry it. So this time of waiting, this season, it is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of growth, full of hidden gifts that will make sense later. And now, my friend, I want us to walk deeper into something even more important. The connection between love, heartbreak, and the way Allah pulls you toward Him through both, and how this journey shapes who you become. You know, when we talk about heartbreak, people usually think only about the pain of losing someone, but there is another kind of heartbreak, a quieter kind, the heartbreak of losing yourself, the heartbreak of walking away from Allah without even realizing you're walking, the heartbreak of living far from the one who created your heart in the first place. And sometimes the loneliness you feel, that ache in your chest, that heaviness you carry at night, It isn't because you don't have a boyfriend. It's because your heart is missing its real source of comfort. Allah, there are moments when a person sits on their bed, scrolling, waiting, wishing, hoping someone will text them, someone will choose them, someone will say, I miss you. But imagine if we craved Allah the way we crave people. Imagine if we whispered to Him the way we whisper to someone we like. Imagine if we checked our hearts for Him the way we check our phones for someone else. Your heart is hurting not because you're alone, but because it's tired of depending on people who were never meant to carry it. And I want to tell you something with softness, but also with urgency. It's time to come back. Come back before the world hardens you. Come back before sin becomes normal. Come back before your heart becomes numb. Come back before your loneliness turns into despair. Come back before you forget how it feels to feel close to Allah. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to have your life together. You just need to turn around even a little and say, Ya Allah, I'm sorry. I need you. And He will run to you. Wallahi, Allah does not reject a heart that returns to Him, even if it returns broken, even if it returns dirty, even if it returns after years of ignoring Him, even if it returns with a history it's ashamed of. Allah is not like people. People love you when you're easy. Allah loves you even when you're struggling. And maybe you're listening to this with a wound no one knows. Maybe you've made mistakes. Maybe you've fallen into things you regret. Maybe you've given parts of yourself to someone who didn't deserve you. Maybe you crossed lines you never thought you would cross. Maybe you're praying less. Maybe you're numb. Maybe you're tired. But listen to me, please listen. You are not too far. You are not too damaged. You are not too late. You are not too broken. And you are not too unworthy for Allah. He already knows what you've done. He already knows what you hide. He already knows what you regret. And He still calls you back. Do you know what kind of love that is? It's a love that doesn't humiliate you, a love that doesn't expose you, a love that doesn't shame you, a love that covers you even when you couldn't cover yourself. So when your heart feels heavy, when you feel guilty, when you feel empty, don't run from Allah. That ache is not a punishment, it's an invitation. It's Allah telling you, my servant, come home. I miss hearing your voice. I miss your prayers. I miss your tears. I miss your heart facing me instead of the world. You know, sometimes a heartbreak from a person is actually a rescue. Allah will let someone hurt you just enough to push you back into His arms. And even though it feels painful, it's actually healing. Because the love that destroys you is not from Allah. And the love that brings you back to Him is always mercy. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made while you were lost. Forgive yourself for trusting the wrong people. Forgive yourself for chasing what was never written for you. Forgive yourself for loving someone who didn't fear Allah with you. But after you forgive yourself, make space for something better by turning back to the one who can fix what no one else can. Repent like you're cleaning your heart from the inside. Cry if you need to. Talk to Allah like you talk to a friend. Tell Him everything. Tell Him what scares you. Tell Him what hurts. Tell Him what you hope for. Tell Him what you regret. Tell Him what you can't tell anyone else. And then trust Him. Trust that He heard you. Trust that He forgave you. Trust that He can rewrite your story. Trust that He will bring you what's better. Trust that what you lost was not your future. Trust that what's coming will make sense of everything you cried for. You see, sometimes Allah breaks your heart to remove what was breaking your soul. Sometimes He takes away what you wanted so He can give you what you need. Sometimes He lets you feel the bitterness of dunya so you finally crave the sweetness of Iman. And I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine standing in front of Allah on the Day of Judgment. Imagine Him asking you, was my love not enough for you? Did you forget me while chasing someone who forgot you? That moment, that question, it should shake something inside of us. Not because Allah wants to scare us, but because He wants to wake us up before it's too late. This world is short. Love is beautiful. Marriage is a blessing. Companionship is mercy. But nothing is worth losing Allah. So while you wait for the person written for you, make sure your heart is not starving for the one who created love in the first place. Feed your soul. Pray even if it's imperfect. Read even if it's small. Make dua even if your voice is shaking. Seek forgiveness even if you've sinned 1,000 times. Don't give up on Allah. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your future. Your story doesn't end with heartbreak. Your story doesn't end with loneliness. Your story doesn't end with a closed door. Allah writes better endings than anything you imagine. And now, I want to take you into something even deeper, something about the wounds you carry, and how Allah uses those wounds to build you, protect you, and guide your heart toward a place you never thought you could reach. And these wounds you carry, my friend, they are not accidents, they are not mistakes, they are not random moments of pain that mean nothing. Every wound you have ever felt is part of the shaping of your soul, part of the quiet training that Allah gives to the ones He loves, the ones He wants to raise, the ones He wants to strengthen. I know you don't always see it. I know some nights hurt more than you can explain. I know some memories still sting when you think of them. I know there are things you wish you could forget, things you wish you could undo, decisions you wish you never made, people you wish you never believed. But let me say something to you with a heart that truly cares. Allah wastes nothing, not your tears, not your heartbreak, not your loneliness, not your quiet prayers in the dark, not your silent battles, not your private struggles. Everything you have lived through has shaped the person you are right now, sitting here, listening, breathing, surviving. And everything you are living right now is shaping the person you are becoming. You are not falling apart. You are being rebuilt, piece by piece, dua by dua, salah by salah, lesson by lesson, test by test, tear by tear. Allah is writing a story for you that is bigger than what you're holding on to, bigger than the disappointments, bigger than the people who left, bigger than the dreams that didn't happen, bigger than the timelines you set for yourself. And maybe, just maybe, Allah is calling you to rise from the versions of yourself that were too attached to people, rise from the mistakes that once controlled you, rise from the identity you built around fear, rise from the pain that tried to define you, rise from the loneliness that whispered lies into your heart, because you are meant for more. And the first want to show you something deeply important, something many people forget. As they chase love, attention, approval, and companionship, your heart is a battlefield. And whatever you allow inside it shapes your future. If you fill your heart with fear, you will shrink. If you fill your heart with the dunya, you will drown. If you fill it with memories of people who hurt you, you will stay stuck. But if you fill it with Allah, you will rise. And when you rise with Allah, you rise gently. You rise with dignity. You rise with clarity. You rise with strength that does not depend on who stays or who leaves. You rise with peace that no heartbreak can steal from you. So let me ask you something from a place of real love. What kind of life do you want? Do you want a life where people decide your worth? Where attention decides your happiness? Where loneliness drives your decisions? Where fear writes your choices? Or do you want a life where your heart is anchored in something unbreakable? Where your peace comes from the one who never leaves? Where your worth comes from the one who created you, where your hope comes from the one who always listens. Because that life, the one connected to Allah, is the life that carries you through every storm. It's the life that heals you from wounds no human words can touch. It's the life that prepares you for companionship that is healthy, respectful, pure, and aligned with who you truly are. But to reach that life, you have to make a choice. A choice to turn toward Allah even when it's hard. A choice to protect your heart even when you feel lonely. A choice to forgive yourself even when you feel ashamed. A choice to rise even when you feel tired. A choice to say, Ya Allah, guide me even when you feel lost. You don't need a perfect past to return to Allah. You just need a willing heart. And your heart, I know it's tired. I know it has been stretched in ways it shouldn't have been. I know it has been disappointed by people you trusted. I know it has cried in silence, pretending to be strong in daylight. But tired hearts are the ones Allah heals the fastest when they turn to Him. So I want you to take a breath right now, a slow breath, a soft breath. And I want you to imagine your heart in your hands. Imagine it bruised, cracked, tired, lonely. And now imagine handing it to Allah. Because there is no safer place, no safer home, no safer keeper. Your heart was never meant to be carried by the world, only by the one who made it. And as you move forward in your life, I want you to hold this truth close. Allah is not finished writing your story. You are not at your ending. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. Every step, every delay, every heartbreak, every prayer, all of it is moving you towards something beautiful. And yes, something beautiful is coming. Not because I say so, but because Allah promised that those who trust Him, those who return to Him, those who wait with patience, He will never leave them empty. So stand up inside yourself, wipe your tears, straighten your back, speak to Allah tonight with honesty. Tell Him your fears, tell Him your desires, tell Him your regrets, tell Him your dreams, tell Him your weakness, tell Him your hope, and then leave your heart in His hands. Your future will not be written by fear, it will be written by Allah. Walk with Him, trust Him, honor Him, and He will give you more than you ever thought possible. And now, my dear friend, as I leave you with these words, I want to bless you with something sincere. May Allah heal the wounds you hide. May He write for you a love that brings you closer to Him. May He protect your heart from anything that would break it. May He give you strength on the days you feel weak. May He fill your nights with peace and your days with clarity. May He guide your steps to what is written for you with mercy. And may He never leave you alone for even the blink of an eye. Hold your heart close, hold your faith closer, and hold Allah closest of all. My dear brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and breathe. Just breathe. Think about everything we walk through, the loneliness, the silence, the waiting, the heartbreak, the healing, the returning to Allah, the trusting, the surrendering. All of it brought you right here, to this moment, to this truth. You were never alone. You were never forgotten. You were never unloved. Every tear you cried was seen. Every silent prayer that trembled in your chest was heard. Every disappointment you carried was written with wisdom you couldn't understand yet. Allah never abandoned you, not for a second. He was shaping you, holding you, guarding you, preparing you. You thought your story was delayed, but Allah was only perfecting it. You thought your heart was empty, but Allah was filling it with Himself first. You thought the world had moved on without you, but Allah was inviting you closer, deeper, higher. And now you stand stronger than the storms you survived, softer than the wounds you healed, wiser than the mistakes you made, closer to Allah than the people who left. My dear listener, if you take only one message from this entire speech, let it be this: Allah loves you more than you will ever understand in this life. So don't lower yourself. Don't doubt your worth. Don't chase people who can't see your value. Don't beg for hearts that were never written for you. Walk with dignity. Walk with Allah. Walk with the one who writes stories better than your dreams. And remember, your life is not behind you. It's ahead of you. Glorious, bright, full of mercy you haven't seen yet. Trust the author. Trust the one who took care of you in the dark before you even knew how to ask. Trust the one who never let your heart break without planning a deeper healing. And now, as you move forward, step into your future with faith, courage, and real love for your Creator. Choose worship over worry. Choose purity over pressure. Choose dua over despair. Choose Allah over everything else. If you do that, wallahi, everything else will fall into place. Better, softer, sweeter than you ever imagined. Your heart will find rest, your soul will find home, and your journey will make sense in ways you could never write on your own. Now let us end with a prayer from the deepest part of the heart. Allahumma ij'al qulubana muta'alliqatan bika, wa la taj'al sa'adatana 'inda khalqika. O Allah, attach our hearts to you alone, and never allow our happiness to depend on your creation. Ahaf ashfi juruhana, wajbur kasrana, وأرزقنا سكينة تملأ صدورنا. O Allah, heal our wounds, mend our brokenness, and fill our chests with your tranquility, Allah. هم اكتب لنا ما هو خير. Skrif till us sufted henfabio. O Allah, write for us what is best, protect us from what harms, and grant you us contentment with your decree. Allahumma la takilna ila anfusina tarfat aynin. O Allah, do not leave us to ourselves even for a blink. Ya Rabbi, ahfaz qulubana, walawwir durubana, warzuqna husn al-khatima. O Lord, protect our hearts, illuminate our paths, and grant us a beautiful ending. And Ya Allah, give peace, love, and companionship to every lonely heart listening right now. Give them someone who brings them closer to you. Someone written with mercy, someone whose presence feels like a blessing. And until that moment comes, let them feel you, truly feel you as a Amina ya Rabbal Alameen. May Allah protect you, may He guide you, may He fill your life with light upon light, and may He make your heart a garden that only grows what He loves.